Hey there, guys. Sorry. We're going to kick this off here a little bit early. 4 o'clock, hopefully, is whenever the live stream will actually start. Hopefully, this works. We're going to try to take Benny Johnson's live stream. Benny Johnson, I believe, is out of Tampa. In fact, if you look at this post right here, you will see pictures of he, Corey Mills, and Eli Crane as they went to Butler, Pennsylvania to do some filming for this documentary that's supposed to air in 3 minutes. So what my intention is to be able to stream it from my channel. Obviously, if you guys want to go watch it on Benny Johnson's channel, I think it's going to be from X, because I think that's where his biggest draw is, Benny's biggest draw. So hopefully he's going to stream it from there. I'm kind of keeping an eye on his website. You'll see me refresh the page a few times. I'll take my screen off of here once it starts, but should be interesting, man. I think they got a lot of footage. They did a lot of investigative work over there. Obviously, there's congressmen involved, so they were able to get on the property. I'm still trying, but I've not been able to get on the property over there. If somebody, whether it be a congressman or whomever else, would work with me to help get me on the property so we can do our own investigation and our own site analysis. I really have some questions on distances and things of that nature that I'd like to get ironed out, film, get documented. But I'm just a little old nobody. So I've contacted Congressman Clay Higgins' office. That's my representative down here in Louisiana, and I know them pretty well. Have not gotten word back from them yet, but I did send a formal request to their scheduler to see if somehow or another they could fit him in to go up to Butler, Pennsylvania with me. So that's still a goal of mine. I just not quite there yet. I'm trying to get us up there. So let me keep taking a look at, I'm going to keep refreshing Benny's page to see. Yeah, that's the name of his documentary, The Trump Kill Box. So let's hang out a minute. I think this is going to be interesting. I like the fact that he has Eli Crane involved. Corey Mills, I don't know a ton about Corey Mills, but I mean, if he's with Eli Crane and Benny on this, I think it's going to be a pretty good production. So let's see. I mean, let's see what they got. I don't know if it's going to, have any more information than probably what we already know. I'm surprised that I guess that they were granted access as much as they did, because they were up on rooftops and tons of stuff like that. So they clearly had all access. So I wonder what kind of involvement they had from the Secret Service. I'm just curious. Yeah, TNT 23 says there's a farm show tomorrow, 5 through 10. So there'll be rides and people everywhere. We were going to go up there during the farm show if we could not get access to it. That didn't happen because we figured with all the people there for the farm show, they're not going to let us get the information that we want and from where we want it. So let's see. It should be dropping now. Come on, man. Let's see. It should be starting now. I wonder if I don't know if he's got a YouTube. I don't think he has a YouTube channel. Let's see if he does. I guess I could have looked there earlier, but let me see if Benny has a YouTube channel. He does, but He's not playing anything from there. There's nothing. It's an old video on there. Wait, here it is. He says, okay, it's premiering in 15 minutes. So I guess it is going to be on YouTube. So I'll grab it from YouTube and put it on here. So yeah, he's saying he's Eastern time, not 5 Eastern like they originally advertised, or saying 5:13. At least that's what his YouTube page is saying. So let me swap these pages out. I'm going to grab his YouTube feed and we will run it from there. And again, you can go to, I'm not trying to steal his thunder. You can go to Benny's page and watch it also if you want to, his channel. I'm only doing that here because I like the conversation that we have. So I think there's a little bit more that goes on in the conversation when you do that kind of stuff than just a matter of go and watch it somewhere. Okay, so this should be it then. Let me get my full screen. And where is, I don't know where his audio is, but I will find a way to make that happen. This should be good, man. I mean, I think this is going to be good. Again, let's see what the time frame is. Premieres in 11 minutes. You see down here at the bottom left-hand corner. And there's not a way for me to maximize the screen on this one, I guess because it's not playing yet. But I will certainly give you a full screen whenever it's playing. And I am really looking forward to the conversation. I hope you guys will stay in the feed. Again, I will take me right here. I will take this box out of here whenever we do the live stream of that. So hopefully you're not going to have my distraction and we can devote our attention to the documentary, which ought to be awesome. I will be in the way over there or maybe down here or right over there. I will be in the comment section. So hopefully you guys will remain in the comment section and be active, because that's where I get the most value out of. Otherwise, I would just send you to Benny's page. But I get a lot out of the, the stuff. You know what? Let's do something since we have some time here. How much time does it say we have? It's hard for me to see that fine print there. It says we have 10 minutes. Let's do this. Stand by. We're going to do something really cool, all right, for everybody who's watching. All right, I'm back. So let's do this. Let's do a giveaway. What I need you guys to do, and I will put something on screen so you guys can see it. My friends over at Gideon Optics have been very, very good to me. Let's do a giveaway. They've sent me some cool stuff to try to help promote their business and my channel. This is one of their Judge red dots. I love their stuff, man. I got 4 of these can't touch it because YouTube will scratch me. But on my CMMG back here, I have one of their etched reticle optics on there. I got 4 of them coming this week because I love etched reticles. I don't like having to rely on batteries. But this is the Judge by Gideon Optics. By the way, if you go to GideonOptics.com, use my code FTATF, you will get 10% off whatever you purchase. But this is an awesome little optic to put on a pistol, whichever. So that is the Judge, right? We're going to give one away. I'll put it back in here so whoever wins it doesn't get mad. So it's got a green reticle. You can see that. And it is the Judge by Gideon Optics. All you got to do to enter, this is it. This is it. And you only need 1 entry because what I'll do is I'll sort by the subject line. Send me an email, and all you have to do in the subject line is put Gideon. That's Gideon. 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 Just type that into the subject line, and that's all you got to put. You don't have to put anything else. Don't put your name or anything, because if you win, I'll respond back to that same email and ask you for your address. So send me an email. I mean, honestly, guys, don't enter more than once because I'm only going to pull 1 name. If you enter 5 times, I'm still only going to count it as 1 entry. So enter 1 time, put Gideon in the subject line, and send it to paul@legallyarmedamerica.com. Again, paul@legallyarmedamerica.com. It will only be for people who watch this live stream. That's it. So if you got a wife or a daughter or a son or somebody else out there and you want an additional chance to win this thing, have them hop on the live stream, watch the live stream, and that's it. I mean, obviously, I can't prove that you watched it, but you're going to get the information from here. So send me an email, and I'm going to pull somebody, and this thing will go out the door tomorrow. I have another Gideon rock that we gave away this past week from somebody who subscribes to my newsletter at legallyarmedamerica.com. So that one's going out tomorrow. She finally reached back out to me. It was a lady who won it. So she reached back out to me. So I will be sending hers out tomorrow. So I'll send this one out as well. So if you send me an email, be looking for a response email in case you are the winner so that you can hurry up and send me that shipping address and I can get that out to you guys. Let's see, guys, where are we at on time? We're 5 minutes away now, so we can continue to chit chat a little bit. Yeah. Well, I wish I could touch that because I love that etched reticle optic. In fact, I can at least do this. It's the Advocate, and this is the one. If you go to their website and see the Advocate, I'm just a sucker for etched reticles. If you see that reticle right there, it is illuminated, but you can also, if you turn your battery or turn the power completely off, it is etched into the optic. I'm just a big fan of etched reticles. I just always have liked them. I feel like when you're totally relying on battery life, bad things can happen. You're not going to have a chance to change your battery in the middle of the night. So I like the etched reticle. So that's what I got. 4 of those coming this week. The green reticle is what I have coming. This on here is a red reticle, but the green, the 4 that I have coming are green. I believe Gideon has sold so many of the red reticle on this optic right here, the etched reticle. They've sold so many of them that they don't have any more reds. Like green is all they have right now because they've sold. It's just a hot selling item. I think a lot of people really appreciate the etched reticles anyway. So I am actually just cracked open my first beer of the day. I am drinking a Coors Banquet, excuse me, to watch this with you guys. That's pretty good. I like Coors Banquet. Cool. Y'all are sending emails. Definitely do that. All I'm going to do when this is over with, I'm going to search by the subject line, obviously. So make sure you have Gideon, Gideon in the subject line. I will search by the subject, I'll take all those, I'll put them in a randomizer, and I'll just get it to yank one out, and I'll respond to that email and send you guys. Yes, BR549 OU812. I see you're a Van Halen fan. I'm a big Yingling fan too. I love Yingling. I like Yingling Flight. Yingling Flight is a very good beer. So big fan of that too. So thank you guys for being in here. Again, we are going to be giving this judge away. For those of you who are on here, make sure that email me, paul@legallyarmedamerica.com. Let me put that on here real quick. I don't want anybody to miss out. Let's see. Email me at subject line to win a Gideon Optic judge. All right, here we go. And if that gets in the way of the live stream, I'll either move the stream around a little bit, or I'll put that up every now and then and take it away so it's not distracting you guys, but I obviously want it to be out there. We will be doing some pretty cool giveaways this year, a lot of different giveaways, not only Gideon, but some other products as well. You definitely want to go to my website, legallyarmedamerica.com. We're putting up a whole lot of really good deals out there. We have some folks, I don't want to make us sound bigger than what we are, but I have a person in Rochester, New York, who helps me do a lot of marketing stuff. And she searches the internet for true deals, like actual deals, not people who say this is a deal and it's really not a deal. It's the same price it was a year ago. This is actual deals. And we're putting on my website, legallyarmedamerica.com. So we'll be sending out a newsletter with those deals in it, also with the latest videos that I have out there as well. So we have a whole lot of stuff happening behind the scenes right now that you guys might not have seen. But if you stay in touch with my website, legallyarmedamerica.com, you're going to be privy to a lot of that stuff. Again, the website is there now with all the stuff that you can purchase. There are some current deals out there now. I'll be expanding that to give you guys a lot more deals. But at the same time, make sure you sign up for my newsletter at legallyarmedamerica.com, because if you're not getting my emails or you're not seeing those deals that we're putting on the website, we'll send them to your inbox. So you'll get them from there. So check them out. Yeah, I see you guys naming some really good beer. PBR here. Silver Bullet. I drink. This is my thing with Coors Light. I drink Coors Light when I'm going out and I'm around a bunch of people. And I say out. It's not like I go out, but whenever I'm out around people, whether it's for a business function or going to a firearms thing or something like that, convention or whatever, I'll drink Coors Light because I can sip on the beer a little bit longer and it doesn't give you that buzz or anything, because it's weak beer. Let's face it, it's weak, but it's perfect for that. I mean, I'd rather have that, So, see PBR, if I didn't say that already. Jack Daniels, I can't do that, man. I'm just not. I'm not sure how long his premiere thing is on YouTube, so I'm going to keep the volume down a little bit. Hope you guys will definitely enter for the contest to win this Gideon Optic, though. And again, I'm going to remove my picture from the screen whenever we get started. So this is a documentary that Eli Crane, Benny Johnson, and Corey Mills filmed in Butler, Pennsylvania on the Donald Trump assassination attempt. This is the first of its kind. Everything you've seen up to now is people like me just putting information and news and stories like that out. This is the first actual production that I know of that's been out there. So I'm really excited to see this. I think this is going to be really cool, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Again, I'm not sure how long his countdown is, but I will kick the volume up whenever the program actually starts. And let me go ahead and get me off the screen right now. Well, I'm trying to keep from muting my mic. I'll pull me off of there because it will mute my mic as soon as they get rolling, guys. It's going to be cool. I think this is neat. I'm glad that Benny Johnson is doing this. I think this is going to be a fun time. Schaefer, I like Schaefer. Boy, that's my beer back in the day. Stroh's back in the day also. Here we go, guys. I'm out. I'll stay in the comment section.
Heart racing, the assassin holds his breath and looks down the scope at President Trump. People scream he's got a gun as police officers surround the building. But no one has stopped him. Just a football field away from the president. Counter snipers see the threat but have not engaged. The trigger is pulled. A bullet rips through Trump's ear. Blood splatters Trump's MAGA hat and pours down the side of his face into his hands. Several more bullets riddle the stage. Counter sniper teams engage and miss. Then hit. Trump rises in defiance, fist in the air. Fight, fight, fight. 20 seconds in Pennsylvania will change America forever. Yet the government has told us nothing. In fact, the Secret Service has lied to the American people multiple times about that day. We needed answers. So our team traveled to Butler, Pennsylvania, the assassination site. What we found is worse than you can possibly imagine. This is the Trump kill box. Our first stop in this investigation was Washington, D.C., to pick up two experts in counter-sniper operations and tactical threat engagement, who also happen to have constitutional oversight of the Secret Service. Congressman Eli Crane is a qualified lead sniper for his SEAL Team 3 platoon. Congressman Corey Mills ran counter-sniper operations, serving in the Army 82nd Airborne Division and the State Department. Both men have been shot at in war zones and shot back successfully.
I want to get the facts. I want it to be a bipartisan full investigation, but I don't want this to be one of those where we overclassify it so the American people don't have the transparency, because they deserve to see this, to be able to, one, have confidence that it wasn't something that was an inside job, or it wasn't something that was just negligence, or it wasn't dereliction of duty, but that they actually can say, I know that my president, future presidents, are actually going to be protected and safe whenever death threats and other types of risks are there. And here's how it happened and what we're going to do to prevent it in the future.
When you get out on that site, if you have even an iota of training on security, long distance shooting, and you get on that property, I mean, you see a water tower that covers the entire premises, basically, you start asking yourself, why the hell wasn't anybody up on that water tower?
So that's what we intend to do with this video, to establish from an expert perspective, what are the questions, right? How many answers will we get? I'm not sure. We're not going there with subpoena power and law enforcement to kick in doors, but we can go look and see and ask questions. So these are the questions that I want to sort of open the table up for. What are the biggest gaps or holes that you men see right now?
Definitely, I want to know why there wasn't counter snipers on the tower. I want to know who made the call to send the shooters or the security team outside of that second story window that had clear coverage over the shooter. I also want to know where this young 20-year-old kid with no military experience got his training, because I'm hearing he had advanced explosives. I mean, at the end of the day, we've got to figure out how a 20-year-old kid acting alone by himself got within 150 yards. It's one of the most powerful, one of the most loved, but also one of the most hated individuals on the entire planet.
I've only been here 10 seconds. I am blown away by the fact that there is no law enforcement. There's no government investigators. There's no Secret Service. Nothing's cordoned off. Nobody seems to have any specific interest in investigating anything. You'd assume there'd be a crime scene of the century, right? Nope.
While on the ground, we are going to investigate 5 fatal security failures that created the conditions for Trump to get shot. Rooftop kill zones, security dead zones, Overwatch, the sniper's nest, and communications collapse. All of these elements combine into what the military calls a kill box. A kill box is a 3-dimensional target area designed to facilitate maximum likelihood of a casualty event. On July 13th, Trump was in the kill box.
This is shockingly close.
Officer on the roof would have prevented this entirely.
The first location to investigate was the Secret Service sniper's nest atop the red barns behind Trump. The assassin, Thomas Crooks, was an obvious person of interest to law enforcement. He was denied entry to the Trump event by Secret Service and had been flagged by local police for skulking around the AGR manufacturing building with a rangefinder 90 minutes before the shooting. He accessed the roof by climbing up on an air conditioning unit and traversing the interconnected rooftops with a backpack. His movements were slow, lumbering, and obvious to anyone with a line of sight. Crooks even pointed a gun at police officers and rally-goers alike who were filming him from the ground. Police had completely surrounded Crooks by the time he was in position to fire on Trump. New footage recently released shows Crooks atop the roofline of the building 3 whole minutes before firing shots. You can see his head and torso and firearm. The snipers atop the Red Barn location had clear line of sight to engage the shooter, but did not fire until Trump had been shot. We climbed up onto the Red Barn sniper nest position to see what those snipers saw that day.
You had one guy here who's got a slightly elevated position. People in those windows, which could see the backside of those buildings, it would have 100% coverage if you're communicating.
So if we are in the sniper position, as we saw with the tripod right here, you see dents right in the
Right.
This must be very close to where they were, and you don't see the same dents. So if you're looking at this shot, what were they looking for? What was the hesitation? What would you expect to have happened?
I haven't seen video of Crooks taking a shot, but I'm assuming based on how he was wisely low crawling up the roof that he probably took a shot from a prone position. So you might be looking at a profile that's, I don't know, maybe 6, 10, 12 inches high.
Got it.
And if one of those guys was on high magnification, one of the snipers, it's hard to find anything on high magnification. So he might have had to dial his scope back out,
get the field of view,
just so he could find him. Oh, there he is. I'm coming in. Crack.
It took a full 20 seconds to neutralize the target. Why? The answer is bone-chilling. According to local SWAT teams, there was simply no communication with the Secret Service.
We were supposed to get a face-to-face briefing with the Secret Service snipers. That never happened, and we had no communication with the Secret Service.
The Secret Service skipped the security briefings and site visits.
You had no communication with the Secret Service at all on that Saturday.
The snipers on the roof had no idea what was going on, what the commotion in the building was about, and local law enforcement had no way to contact them directly. They had no intelligence and were in the dark, and that is why they were fatally slow to react.
Neither the Secret Service counter sniper teams nor members of the former president's security detail had any knowledge that there was a man on the roof of the AGR building with a firearm.
This is completely suicidal. If the agents protecting the president can't share intelligence about a threat to the president's life, it guarantees failure of the mission by design. The agents we spoke with say they've never seen a setup like this, and it gets much, much worse. How was Crooks allowed to get so close to the president in the first place? How was he allowed to fire 8 shots? We investigated his sniper nest to find out. The exact location where Crooks fired his weapon is easy to find because once you are on the rooftop, it is still stained with his blood.
Yes, this is it right here.
This is it right here.
You can see the blood trail that comes down.
Got it. Got it. So they're right where Trump was.
Right.
They're where Trump was right there.
As your basic training boot camp soldier, that they make twice this distance shot to pass boot camp with iron sights, not with a red dot, not with a scope, with any magnification or any type of a, red dot sight. It's that much easier of a shot.
So level 1 to 10 difficulty shot from right here.
For one of us, exceptionally easy.
We crawled on our hands and knees into Crooks's exact assassin's position. This is precisely what Crooks would have seen as he fired the rounds at President Trump. This is what Trump would have seen had he looked at the roofline of the AGR building. This is how close the killer was to President Trump. The Red Barn is not the only sniper position at the rally. The Secret Service is responsible for stationing all protective teams for the president. Local and state law enforcement officers go where they're told and do what they're told. A local SWAT sniper team was stationed on the second floor of the AGR building with perfect overwatch of the roof. The snipers in this location could have and should have easily been able to engage Crooks before he ever came close to scope sight of Trump. The acting director of the Secret Service says he does not know what happened in this location, but we do.
Who was stationed up there? And did they see the shooter? Why weren't they engaging?
Once there was a suspicious individual reported, one of them came down, left the room that they were conducting Overwatch in, went down to, I think, walk around the perimeter, see if he could find him. Tried to come back in the building. The key card wasn't working. And so he called the other guy that was up in the room. The other guy left his post to come down to let him in. We're being told that that's when the shots were taken.
So it's just the worst possible timing for a local SWAT team or sniper team.
So Crooks was able to crawl across a rooftop and fire on President Trump, while this fully equipped sniper's nest with perfect view of the assassin's position was left totally unmanned. This humiliating error happened because Secret Service did not have command, control, and communication with local teams. The assassin would have been easily identified and tracked with modern Overwatch capabilities, yet drone technology was not used by the Secret Service and was turned down when locals offered. This is why Crooks was hard to follow on the ground and on the rooftop. But even without drones, the shooter could have easily been neutralized by correctly positioned sniper teams. The water tower in Butler is a point of great controversy, not because there was a shooter there, but because there wasn't. Why was there no sniper team positioned as Overwatch on the highest point in the entire county during the Trump rally?
Anybody even get up in that water tower to check lines of sight, angle? Again, look around you guys. It is the highest point on this entire observation point on this entire property. Did anybody even get up and, do a site survey on that water tower?
Our drone footage of the water tower shows what a perfect location this would be for Overwatch. This simple graphic shows how easy it would have been for a sniper positioned on the water tower to have tracked, engaged, and neutralized Crooks before he ever got a shot off on President Trump. A security dead zone is an area at an event where the general public can enter and exit without ever being screened by security. Did you know that there was a 3-acre security dead zone 80 yards away from President Trump with clear line of sight to the stage that conveniently happened to be right in front of the AGR manufacturing building? The chaos that this security dead zone created allowed for Thomas Crooks to scope out the building with a rangefinder and eventually climb up to his sniper's nest and shoot President Trump.
So anyone carrying any bag or anything could have walked right up to this fence line.
They were all in it. And if you look at where that orange flag is on the ground, I mean, that's essentially the stage area.
Any person, let's just assume that person is a paramilitary trained individual with terrorist connections who walked across our southern border, just for worst case scenario, any group or anyone could have walked right up to this fence line and been how far away from the president?
Roughly from here. What do you got? 100 yards? You've got a backpack with a concealed collapsible that you set down, unzip, and pull from here. You're 100 yards.
And what's to stop 15 men from doing that?
Nothing.
At the same time?
That they could have parked on the side of the road, walked that back path by the water tower, and come straight to this point, and you're 100 yards without even have ever touched the security element.
There are plenty of people who are willing to die to take a shot at the president, no matter who the president is.
That's right.
President Trump's particularly high value target.
Right.
There's no doubt that there would be 15 men with terrorist associations in the country right now.
Well, I think that if you look at the 400 plus who's crossed our open borders on the known terrorist watch list, I think that it's very self-evident that we all know that they're here. It's just a matter of if and when.
It's critically important to remember that no matter how bad the events of this assassination attempt were, because of the failures of the Secret Service, they could have been much, much worse.
This is the FBI flag. where President Trump was standing and was shot. That's the spot right there. Guys, it's a kill box is what it is. It's a kill box. And according to all of our sources, these roofs over here and the roof over there, none of that had any security on it. There were open rooftops in every direction.
Professional snipers can hit targets at 2,000 yards. There are 7 unsecure rooftops in full line of sight to Trump in that range.
I'm no security expert, but I look around, and if somebody was able to crawl up on that rooftop, there are rooftops in every direction. This does not seem like a wise place to have ever approved of a rally. Am I wrong?
It seems like there's a lot of structures that are, very threatening to the president in this spot. These buildings take up like his rear, his 180. And so what we're looking at, most of our threats are, these buildings out in here, and most of them are well within the distance that a trained shooter would be able to execute.
Standing right up here and looking at this, Congressman, for the first time, seeing it again with fresh eyes, would you have authorized the president give a speech?
Sometimes in units like that, whether military or law enforcement, you're told, this is what we're doing, make the best of it.
This is why it's so important as well to have a security team who's willing to push back and say, sir, we don't have enough available resources and assets to secure certain areas. That's where that prioritization of where would I basically, you have to almost put yourself into the mind of someone who would try and make this and say, where would I be? What would I do?
If a trained professional sniper had decided to kill Trump that day, God forbid. We have established beyond a reasonable doubt that President Trump was intentionally put into the kill box on July 13th. So who's responsible for this fatal security plan? Who cut the communication lines? Who kept Trump on stage? And who will be held criminally liable for these deadly decisions? We have so many questions after our investigation of the assassination site, but one thing is crystal clear. There are forces that wanted President Trump dead. The obscene security failures created the conditions for a live TV execution. These failures are unforgivable and have inspired regular Americans to ask questions like this.
Was there a stand-down order, Ms. Cheadle? Was there a conspiracy to kill President Trump?
The head of the Secret Service resigned in disgrace after this question, but her replacement continues the same failed policies that sent a bullet through Trump's head. Not one federal government employee responsible for the assassination attempt on Trump's life has been fired. Gross incompetence is indistinguishable from malevolence. Enough stupid people making decisions together will get innocent Americans hurt or killed. Whistleblowers inside the Secret Service have warned of another Trump assassination in 30 days or before the election. How long till the next Trump kill box? We demand accountability and criminal charges for those responsible. Pray for President Donald Trump before it's too late.
So what'd you guys think? Huh? What were your thoughts on that? Was it good? Was it worth it? I think what that was pretty much, thank you, John. I appreciate you, brother. I think that was pretty much, I can take these off now because I'm not listening to their audio anymore. I've thought about, and honestly, I think, no offense to Benny Johnson did a really good job of that. I'm not going to have the star power that he has, but I think I could put together a better video than that. Again, I'm not knocking the guy. It's possible he could only put in so much stuff in it, but I feel like what that was just explaining everything that we've kind of already explained. But it was good. It was good to see all that in one place. It was interesting. Sometimes it's good to get all of the different things that we've talked about for the last 3 weeks and cram it all together and listen to it all at once, because then you realize how freaking bad it is. Like, you're like, holy crap, did that really happen? Thank you, New Phase. I appreciate you so much. I mean, when you look at it all packaged in one little box, you're like, really? Did this honestly happen like that? So I've like made notes to put something together, and I'm kind of glad to see what Benny did, because mine is not going to be like Benny's. Obviously, at this point, I'm trying to get Congressman Clay Higgins to go with me. I've not gotten any information from him back yet. I know Clay, and I know his office really well. So, you know, they will tell me if they're not going to go. They're not just going to blow me off. But I haven't heard any confirmation from them yet. Hopefully I can go up there and do that. Excuse me. We are talking about Trump announced that he was going to go back up to Butler and do another rally before the election. I've talked to a few different people, and our intention is, if we don't make it up there to film things before then, we at least go up there for that, you know, for Trump, when Trump returns to Butler. Thank you. Is that Aram Faye? Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Yeah, and you're right. No offense to Benny. I'm not saying Benny did anything wrong with what we just watched. It was very interesting to me, and it's good to see the star power that he had, because those guys are true experts from a sniper standpoint. So really good stuff right there. However, I think putting something together that's going to be chronological of what we've learned, because you guys know for a while there was information not coming in daily, coming in almost hourly. Thank you, Lynn. Lynn, you're always in there, buddy. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, bud. So I think if we can take the things that we can confirm and then some of the question marks and leave kind of the BS out, because there's been some BS. I mean, I've reported some BS out there because I didn't know if it was true or not. But I think it would be really interesting for us to be able to do that. So let me do some thinking. If it turns out that I'm not able to go, thank you, Terry. I appreciate you too, Terry. If it turns out that I'm not going to be able to tour the site, I will just at least make sure that I put a documentary together on this, and it won't look like Benny's at all. It won't. It'll basically be a rehashing of everything that I've already done, and I'll roll it up into one nice little package, and we'll put it out there so that people can watch it from front to back. My thing is, I'm waiting for the stuff to stop coming out. There continues to be information coming out. If you saw my video from earlier today, there's information coming out about a guy from, excuse me, one second. Excuse me. There's a guy from China, a Chinese guy, that's saying that he's got information documents trying to get into Mar-a-Lago to say that China was involved. I don't believe that. I'm not certainly not sitting here saying China was involved, but who knows? Has anybody seen the freaking documents that the guy said he had in his car? So little stuff like that continues to kind of trickle out a little bit. So thank you all for blessing me. So that's what I'm hopeful of, that we get to a point where some of the stuff just stops trickling out and we just have enough information where we can put something out. I think it's going to be, the public is going to have to figure out what happened here, because honestly, guys, I don't think we're going to find out. I really don't. I think from what you've seen from this channel and a bunch of other channels out there where we're doing all of the real work to try to figure things out and all the investigative work, that's what it's going to end up being. There's no one's going to come out and say that this is what happened from the federal government and it be anything of any real value that tells us, oh, okay, I didn't know that. You know what I mean? It's not going to happen. So thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate that. This was interesting to me. Remember, you'll be able to go back. This is going to be on my channel now, so it's out there. So if you want to go back and watch it again, or you want to share it with somebody, it's there. Just it'll probably take a minute to process the video, but once I end this live stream, it will be available in a little while. So feel free to share it, or they can go share Benny Johnson's also. I'm just saying I enjoy this because I like the the chat room and all that and the correspondence that we have amongst each other. But thank you guys so much for always watching my videos, sharing my videos. You know, YouTube does not care for me too much. So anything you do to share my videos or encourage people to subscribe to the channel and to share the videos and to watch the videos, like the videos, comment on the videos, that's a big help, because it allows my channel to overcome the squashing in the algorithm. Once you get to a certain point where a video is being shared, liked, more subscribers, they can try to squash a video as much as they can, but it breaks through. And the algorithm just overwhelms what they're trying to do to the channel. So anything you guys do certainly helps me. I appreciate it. So, guys, have a good evening. It's a Sunday. Hopefully you guys have a great Sunday, and I will see you tomorrow with another video. I do not know what the topic is yet because everything's up in the air right now. But what I have done, just so you guys know, those of you that are very familiar with what I've done with the Gun Violence Archive, I have broken down, I know this gets lost because of all the Trump stuff. I've broken down all of the Gun Violence Archive numbers for the month of July for the motive classification method that I created. I'm going to tell you one thing that's going to make you laugh before you go. Naturally, the Trump shooting is listed in there as a mass shooting, one of the most historical shootings in the history of the world. And they took advantage of the fact that 4 people were shot so they can include it in as a mass shooting. Unbelievable what these people do. Drive-by Preacher, thank you very much, guys. I am going to check out of here. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. As always, I appreciate everything you do. It's humbling to me that you guys take the time to watch me, and I certainly appreciate that, and I hope you guys know that. Have a good evening, guys.